Take two. I recorded this. It picked up the audio, but the video did not record. It was so good. I had so much to say, and I said it. And I gotta try and remember this shit all again. What's happening, my fellow geeks and geekettes? Welcome to a brand new episode of Cosplay Chris, and today it is going to be a spoiler-free review for the highly anticipated Joker film directed and co-written by Todd Phillips. The film stars Joaquin Phoenix as Arthur Fleck / Joker. We also have Robert De Niro and Zazie Beetz. Again, this is going to be a spoiler-free review. I'm going to be as vague as I can about the basic premise and plot and just little details here and there about the film in general. Now, as we know, this is an origin story and a different take on the Joker, much more grounded in reality, actually a lot more grounded in reality than Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy, which is nothing to take away from Nolan's amazing trilogy. That thing is a masterpiece, but this right here is a lot more grittier, a lot more dirtier, and a lot more graphically violent. Now, obviously, the film has been generating a lot of buzz since its screening at film festivals. There is no embargo, because I did not know this until recently. If a film screens at a film festival, the embargo is automatically lifted, or usually. So in this case, there's been no embargo. We can do a review today. Had a screening here in Sydney last night with some amazing friends, and I can honestly say, hands down, geeks and geekettes, this is my most favorite film of the year / one of my favorite DC films by far. This film is ballsy. It is gritty. It left me in awe. It left me disturbed. And that's exactly what I wanted to walk out of that theater feeling. And I got it. Times 10. Times 100, times 1,000. Let's not beat around the bush. This film is definitely stirring up some controversy, and I don't know why. It's one of those things where people are whinging for the sake of whinging. They say that this film is going to ensue violence and, inspire violence and inspire people to cause violence. No, it is a movie. It is there to entertain, it is there to shock, and it's exactly what it does. If that's the case, then every violent film in film history needs to be brought up and have something said about it. That's not going to happen, and it shouldn't happen with this film either. So I just wanted to say that this is a beautifully crafted film, and it's in the vein of Taxi Driver, King of Comedy. Those are definitely inspirations for this film. So of course the film revolves around Arthur Fleck and his descent into madness to become the Joker. But when you think about it, the madness has been there since day one. It is essentially laid dormant, and it just needed those little pushes here and there for him to become full final form, which is him as the Joker. Now, the film itself is set in 1981 Gotham. There is a garbage strike, so Gotham is literally a shithole. And this is by far one of the prettiest, dirtiest, and beautifulest films I've seen in a long time. The cinematography was absolutely on point. It just, the color grading, everything just blended well together. It was just such a treat to look at. Every single shot looks like it had so much thought put into it, how it was framed up, how it was lit. The set pieces complemented the costumes, the makeup complemented the set pieces, the costumes, the production design. It just all was woven together perfectly. Todd Phillips, Warner Brothers have got an amazing crew on board for this film. Coffee. Now let's not beat around the bush, and this is not a spoiler. We have a 6-year-old Bruce Wayne in this film. We also have Thomas Wayne, and the way they've been woven into Arthur's story in this film is actually reminiscent of certain storylines and story arcs from the comics and graphic novels, and it was one that I wasn't fully aware of until last night, and I thought it was quite ballsy and executed very well, and it wasn't forced in your face. And obviously I'm not going to go into spoiler territory, that's for another time, and that's all I'm going to say about the Waynes. The rest is up to you to see the film and see how they're portrayed and how it all pans out for the Wayne family in this film. Now, of course, let's talk about Joaquin Phoenix. The guy just disappeared. The guy is Arthur Fleck / the Joker. He commits 110%, not just psychologically, but physically. The man is emaciated in this film. It was actually horrifying to watch. And remember I said in my trailer breakdown for the final trailer of Joker that there were certain shots in the film of his skeletal appearance that reminded me a lot of Jared Leto's skeletal appearance in Dallas Buyers Club. It had the exact same effect, if not it was worse, because you see more of that skeletal appearance in this film, and just his descent into madness on a physical level as well. And the film also does definitely deal with mental illness, and Arthur does have a condition, and he has a little card for it where he kind of freaks out and he doesn't handle things the way he should. It's interesting with the path they went with his reasoning and the reasons why he has his mental illness and his little tics and quirks that he has really help this film ground itself in a different reality, a much more believable and legit reality. Robert De Niro as Murray Franklin was beautiful. I would have liked to have seen more screen time with him, as well as Zazie Beetz, two amazing actors that I thought deserved a lot more screen time, even though Robert De Niro's character was quite pivotal. Zazie just kind of felt like she was tossed aside and her character wasn't fully formed and fully developed, and I just would have liked to have seen more of her. Now, in terms of Joaquin's overall look as the Joker, the aesthetic, the makeup and everything, at first I was expecting a lot more, and that's purely because of what Ledger left behind. You know, when I first saw Joaquin in the makeup with the red suit and everything, I was expecting, you know, maybe some purple thrown in there, a bit more of a three-dimensional look to the makeup, but I'm fully at peace with it now, and it plays perfectly into this film and the story that they're going with, and I totally understand it and buy it at this point. Now, the ending of this film I thought was classy, it was subtle, and it was just wrapped up nicely, and it's going to leave a lot of people talking for weeks to come, months to come, years to come, and I'm very interested to see, for example, what, you know, Jeremy Jahns, Chris Stuckman, and the Flick Pick have to say about this if they choose to do spoiler videos, which I hope they do, because I always love a video from those boys. So it's going to be interesting to see what their thoughts are and what everyone else's thoughts are, because the more I talked about it with everyone last night whilst we were debriefing after the film, kind of got me thinking this is going to leave a lot of people divided, but in a good way. It's, I'm trying to be as vague as I can. Just go see the film. Todd Phillips masterfully co-wrote this film as well as directed it. I had my doubts at first. Unfortunately, I was one of those guys that was like, oh, the Hangover guy. Like, I love the Hangover trilogy, even though 2 and 3 were a bit meh. First one was brilliant. Todd Phillips knows comedy. Part of the Joker is comedy, and this film is also based on the king of comedy, Taxi Driver, and you have to have those brutal elements, the violent elements, and the comedy elements mesh well together. The violence is few and far between in this film, but when it happens, it is full on. I mean, audiences last night, when there was a certain kill in the film, and I'm going to be very vague about it, we were all cringing because the brutality of it, the sound effects of it were just hard-hitting, very hard-hitting, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about once you see this film. So guys, overall, I was thoroughly entertained and enjoyed Joker even more than I thought I would. It is one of DC's finest. I really hope this is the start of something special in terms of the whole DC Black Label thing. I know that name is getting thrown around a lot at the moment. I think it's a great initiative. I think it's a great idea to see these gritty, once-off, standalone films of, say, the Gotham Rogues Gallery, you know, the ones we love and adore, as well as our heroes, not be Batman, but also Robin, and maybe Catwoman, Batgirl, Wonder Woman. I just want to see it all within these little individual kind of arty character pieces, or a character study, because this is what this film is. It's a character study. It's a ballsy one at that, you know. This could have gone one way or the other. Regardless of the controversy surrounding it, which is just controversy for controversy's sake, this film exceeded my expectations. I have no doubt that this is going to generate a lot of buzz during awards season, not just from an acting standpoint, but a technical standpoint with filmmaking, because it is just beautifully crafted, from whether it's behind the camera or in front of the camera. So guys, it's pretty obvious. With that being said, I'm going to be giving Joker 5 geeks out of 5. I'm really interested to hear your thoughts, so please drop a comment down below once you have seen Joker. Did you enjoy Joaquin Phoenix's performance as the Joker? Do you want to see more of his performance as the Joker in future films, or do you think this should just be a standalone film? Guys, thank you so much as always for watching. Tomorrow is day 1 of Sydney Oz Comic Con at Homebush Bay. So it is going to be Black Suit Superman tomorrow. I still have not finished the costume yet. I'm literally going to film this, edit it, upload it, and then get to work finishing the costume. It is con crunch time. Fingers crossed it all works out, and I'll have a video up next week on the breakdown of that costume. I tried to get some time this week to film a breakdown video, but obviously the costume isn't finished, and I've just run out of time. Cosplay life. Guys, wherever you're in the world, have yourselves a cracker of a day. I hope you're well, hope you're happy, be merry, be silly, and until next time, geeks, please always remember, cosplayers do it best.